Yesterday, the 16th of May, we celebrated the life of Saint Brendan, one of the early Celtic saints who lived between 486 and 575 AD. Now, I've never actually heard of St Brendan before, but apparently he is well known for his sea journeys, which many of the early saints were remembered for as they took the gospel to distant lands. So it was no surprise that the Bible reading to celebrate his life came from Psalm 107, which happens to be one of my favourite psalms. And I'm just going to read to you now the verses 23 to 31. Those who go down to the sea in ships and ply their trade in great waters, these have seen the works of the Lord and his wonders in the deep. For at his word the stormy wind arose and lifted up the waves of the sea. They were carried up to the heavens and down again to the deep. Their soul melted away in their peril. They reeled and staggered like a drunkard and were at their wits' end. Then they cried to the Lord in their trouble, and he brought them out of their distress. He made the storm be still, and the waves of the sea were calmed. Then they were glad because they were at rest, and he brought them to the haven they desired. Let them give thanks to the Lord for his goodness and the wonders he does for his children. The reason that those words really spoke to me quite a few years ago now was that they clearly, to me, described the situation I was currently in my career. And at that time, I did feel like I was on a boat or a ship being tossed up in the air and then sinking down to the depths. I did feel that I was reeling on the deck, that I couldn't stay upright, holding on for dear life. And yet the Lord did calm the storm that was going on, and he did bring me to a safe haven, one that I did desire. And all that happened within a matter of weeks of me reading those verses from Psalm 107. The storm that was going on in my life was stilled, and I was set on a new way, in a new direction, to follow the new journey and a changing career that subsequently happened in my life. And it was a bit like those early saints who set out on those perilous seas, not knowing where they were going, not knowing actually where they would end up or whether they would be safe, but all the while trusting in God that he would deliver them to where he wanted them to be, and that he would keep them safe. Maybe you feel perhaps a little bit that you are on stormy seas, that you are reeling about on that boat, uncertain of where you are travelling to. But remember the words of the psalmist, those people cried out to the Lord, and he rescued them, and he stilled the storm, and he brought them to their safe haven, one that would delight. I'm now going to just end with a prayer of Saint Brendan. Help me to journey beyond the familiar and into the unknown. Give me the faith to leave old ways and break fresh ground with you. Christ of the mysteries, I trust you to be stronger than each storm within me. I will trust in the darkness and know that my times, even now, are in your hand. Tune my spirit to the music of heaven, and somehow make my obedience count for you. Amen.